Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. In this one I'm going to be taking a look at some of my 1/64th scale emergency vehicles that I have in my collection from different manufacturers, but I'm going to look at the three different categories in each: police, fire, and ambulance. So with that being said, I'm going to jump right on into it. So the first ones I'm going to take a look at are my police vehicles. And I'm going to focus in on just these three real quick. I'm going to have to make a camera adjustment here. These over notch. I think. Hoping this works. I might have to try a little more. So, two of the vehicles are from ERA, and the other one is from Corgi. So, take a look at each one individually. So, the first one I have is a Volkswagen Caddy Maxi. I'm going to zoom in on this one real quick. Make a little camera adjustment here. So this one is a Caddy Maxi, and it is a dog section unit, and it has a little dog in it as well. I'll take that out in a little bit. But this is the car itself alone. Got police written on the hood. See, it's got the symbol. I'm gonna move it up just a little bit. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Showing you like the top of it. Got the light bar. Number 93. Pretty cool. It's a four-door vehicle. Pretty nice. This one's also from ERA. This is a Mercedes-Benz Vito van, and this one is from the Manchester Police. Pretty cool. That lighting in the background might make it hard to see some of the details. I might have to bring it up. You can see it says police on it. It's got the symbol and the crest, or I don't know what this is right back here. Little sign next to police. Got two light bars on it. A little different. Police written across the front. Got the Mercedes symbol right there on the hood, the grill. Turning it around, it's pretty much the same detailing on this side. A little bit, a lot more different than the Caddy Maxi one, which is pretty cool. And then this one is a Ford Transit van from Corgi, and this one was actually in the emergency services set 60026. It's a pretty nice one. It's got two doors on this side right here, door to get into the back from the side. I like the yellow trim at the base of the van, which is pretty nice. Taking a look around to the front, it says police in reverse and forward on the front hood, which is pretty cool. You see the yellow paint job at the bottom, like highlighter yellow, pretty cool. And then it's also got the stripe on both sides. It isn't from any police service in any county, it just says police on it, just a little bit different. It's pretty cool. No lights on it or anything, just a little bit different, but it has 146 and the big orange dot on top, which is pretty cool. It's a pretty nice one. So now I'm going to take a look at all three of these together. Well, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at the two ERA vehicles next to the Corgi one. So, measuring them up side by side, Looks like the Corgi van is just a little bit longer than the Caddy Max, so you can see it kind of sticking out a little bit, and I'll show you from above. Do my best. Get a good look right there. It may not be the best quality, but you get the idea. Just pretty different. I might have to make some adjustments. So these are two pretty cool vehicles. As I was saying, the Caddy Maxi has a dog section. It does have working features on it. The rear of the van opens, and so does the hood as well. I'll just show you that real quick to get a bit of an idea. Zoom in so you can see right there. That back wheel doesn't move. I don't know why. If that's an error or if that's just the way it came. It's pretty cool. As I was saying, it comes with a dog right here in a little bag, which is pretty cool. Pretty nice that it has that. Different from the Corgi van, obviously. This one's from London, and it's got the yellow and blue stripes on it. It says dog section, got a crest right here, which is pretty nice. And then also a little detail, it's got a picture of a dog. I don't know if this will help or not. It may or may not, but you can see right there in the back window, there's that sticker right on it. That is a picture of a dog. It's hard to tell. That's what it is. Pretty cool. It's got a clear light bar across the top, and it says 93 on it, which is pretty cool. Got a number on it. It's also got the mirrors on it, which is a little bit different. It's pretty nice. So that'll be it for the London one. And then the Manchester one, it's the same thing. It's another dog van. 4 doors, a lot like the Corgi one. I forgot to point that out. It also has 2 doors as well. There was 2 doors on the other side of the van, but there's another door right here to get into the side, or to get into the back from the side of the van. And then of course you got the 2 doors in the back with the clear window. You can see up to the front, which is pretty cool. Got a nice paint job along the back, the yellow and orange, which is pretty nice. Really like that. The ERA van does have working features, as I've shown in some of my other videos. The hood and the back do open, and it also has a dog in it, but it's a little bit different. Pull it out. So inside this crate comes in a little bag. I'm gonna try to get it out. As I was showing you, I'm gonna have to make another camera adjustment. Turning it around. That's as far in as my camera will zoom. So I'll bring it up just a bit closer. It may seem blurry, but there is a dog in it. I'll try to bring it out. I don't know if it'll come out or not, but there is a dog, as you can see, inside the crate. I know it's going to be hard to tell because it's a small one, but it is a pretty cool one. It's pretty nice that it has that feature, so it's a little bit different. So it's pretty cool that 2 of my ERA vehicles are that are police vehicles have canine dogs in them, which is pretty cool. So I'll probably post a picture of it in the community of what the dog and kennel look like. If you guys want to see that, I'll put that in there so you guys have a bit of a close-up. But that'll be it on that one. As far as this Corgi van, it doesn't have any working features. It's just a die-cast 1/64th scale van, long wheel based. again, measuring it up next to the, if I can get the back of the van to shut on the ERA vehicle. The Corgi van is just a little bit longer than that one. I know it's hard to tell and it's a bit distracting because the back of the ERA van is kind of opening up a little bit, but it is the Corgi van that is a bit bigger. So that's pretty cool. So that's how big they are. So it's pretty nice. And looking at the three of these now all together, I really like the look of all three of these. The Volkswagen Caddy Maxi, Mercedes-Benz Vito, and a Ford Transit van. I think that these are pretty cool to have this selection of police vehicles in my collection. It's pretty nice, especially since they're all 1/64th. But this is a pretty nice viewing of these cars right here. So that's pretty cool. So the next ones I plan on taking a look at are another ERA Mercedes-Benz Vito, and a Corgi Ford Transit paramedic van. And gonna show the ERA vehicle first. So this one is another Mercedes-Benz Vito, a lot like the Manchester police van, and I'm gonna zoom in on this so you guys have a close-up of it. Pretty nice looking, similar to the Manchester one as I'd mentioned earlier, except this one's an ambulance, and it says working in partnership with NHS right there on the window. That's what that writing says. So that's pretty cool. I don't think my camera will zoom in on it any further, and if I am able to get it up close, it might not turn out as well, but I'll try to post some pictures of that of them later on in the community so you guys can see them individually. But that's what it says. It says ambulance. It's another four-door vehicle. There's two doors on this side and then two doors on the other side. I really like the green and yellow checkered pattern on it, which is pretty nice. It's really cool. They also got a clear light bar across the top, which is a pretty interesting feature on the ambulance on this one. A little bit different from some of my other ones. We got a clear light bar. It also too has working features. The hood and the rear do open, and the other cool part about this one is it also comes with an accessory. It comes with a stretcher, which I'll try to get that out right now if I can. Probably having a hard time with it, so I'll just move on to the Corgi van. And this is another 1/64th scale vehicle. It also came in the same emergency set that the police Ford Transit van came in, 60026. This is a pretty nice one. I like the checkered pattern that goes up and down all along it, and how it says paramedic along the side, which is pretty cool. It's another four-door vehicle as well. There's two doors on the sides to get into the back. It's hard to tell, but there's like a little, looks like a little showing of a handle right there, even though it doesn't open, but it's there. Turning it around, it says emergency on the back, and then it's got the clear windows like the police van does, so you can see into the back. It's like a three-seater at the front, which is pretty cool. Not a lot. And it says paramedic along the side with that sign right there, which is pretty cool. And not from any county or city in particular. It's just a plain paramedic van, which is pretty nice. And then, of course, across the front, it says paramedic in reverse and emergency on the top, which is pretty cool. No lights or anything, which is different. Pretty different, which is a little bit different. It's also pretty nice. So now I'm going to zoom out and taking a look at the ERA van and this paramedic one. It's the same thing. The paramedic van is a little bit longer than the ERA vehicle, which is pretty cool, pretty nice. Um, the Corgi van doesn't have any working features on it, which is a little bit different compared to the ERA, but it's still pretty cool. Pretty nice that they're both 1/64th vehicles and they do the same thing, same emergency service. It's pretty nice. The Corgi van also with no lights on it. That's another difference. It's still pretty cool. And then the next two that I have are, I have actually 4 fire vehicles, 2 fire engines from Del Prado. I'm going to zoom out real quick for just a second. This one might be a little bit hard to do because the 2 fire engines are pretty big, look a lot bigger than the 2 cars. But I have 4 1/64th fire vehicles right here, 2 fire engines, an ERA car, and another Corgi Ford Transit van. So this is a pretty cool one right here. But I'm going to focus on the 2 smaller cars first, real quickly. And back on into it. I'm going to have to make some adjustments here. So I do have another Ford Transit van from Corgi, as you can see right on the end. And the other car is another ERA car, and it is from the West Yorkshire Fire and Rescue Service. So I'm going to take a look at both of these individually now. So the first one I'm going to take a look at is this ERA car. As I said, West Yorkshire Fire and Rescue Service, and you can see the crest or symbol right at the very back in between where there's no window, right behind the passenger side, on the passenger door. Got the checkered pattern colors on it, which is pretty nice. It also has working features as well. This one doesn't come with any accessories in it, which is a little bit different from the ambulance and the 2 police cars, but it's still pretty cool. So it does have the hood and the back open, which is pretty nice. I think I'm going to turn off that light for just a second. It's a bit annoying, but there you go. So you get a good look at it. Going around, it's got a clear light at the back. I'm going to try to bring it up close so you guys get a close-up of the vehicle. There is some writing on it. It says West Yorkshire Fire and Rescue right here. I know it's hard to tell with that light on, but even if I did turn it off, it would be kind of hard to tell, but it does say that. But it has kind of a clear window from my perspective that you can kind of see in to it, which is pretty cool. I'm going to turn it around now. So it's another 4-door vehicle, which is pretty cool. Got clear windows on the in the back passenger's side, on both of them, both sides. And then on top, you got a blue light bar going across the top, which is pretty cool. And then you see on the hood, it says fire, which is pretty cool. Pretty nice for a small 1/64th Volkswagen Caddy Maxi. So that's a pretty cool one right there. So we're done with that one. And then this is another van from the same emergency service set, 60026 from Corgi. And this one is just a plain fire rescue unit van, just a little bit different. Another 4-door van, got doors on to get into the back from the sides. Really not a whole lot of detailing to it other than the writing and then that yellow stripe that goes down the side. No light bar either. No lights on it, just a little bit different. As you can see, right here along the back, I've got to make an adjustment again. You can see it says fire rescue unit, and you can see straight to the front. Another 3-seater van at the front, which is pretty cool. You got the doors to get into the back of the van. Nice little paint job right there on the sides with the yellow and orange. Orangish color it looks like, which is pretty cool. Zoom out. And then taking a look down the other side, it's pretty much the same thing. No mirrors or lights, which is different, but that's still pretty cool. It's a pretty nice van. So now taking a look at this one as well. The Corgi van is obviously longer than the ERA car, which is pretty cool. Pretty nice that they're the same scale, but Corgi's is a little bit longer than theirs. So that's pretty cool. And then if you want to look from above, it's pretty cool. Pretty nice, all of that on it. And I'll try to bring the camera up a little bit closer. So that's pretty cool for those two. Move those out of the way. And then the last two that I have are two Del Prado fire engines. They're both Volvos from two different services. One's from Ireland and the other one is from Scotland. So I'm going to take a look at each of them individually. So the first one I'm going to take a look at is this one. It is a Volvo Major Rescue FL614 from the UK, and it says, I'm not sure if it's Dumfries or Dumfries, but and Galloway Fire Service is what it says. Pretty cool. I don't want to say it wrong, so it's either or, not too sure. Definitely different from some of the other ones that I have. This one, as you can see on the door, there's a crest right there on the lower part by the window on it. Got one big locker, then two smaller ones, which is pretty cool. Turning it around, you can see a little bit more detailing. It's got mirrors on both sides, got the Volvo sign going across the front of it. You got the big old light going across the top, which is pretty cool. It says fire in the middle. Another cool thing about this one too, taking a look around, here's from the back, and it looks like that area that's looks like it's in the square. Right back here, it's where they hook up the hoses, I think. Hook up the hoses right there. And the water pressure. There's some dials probably back there, which is pretty cool. And you got some lights on the back of it, as you can see, which is pretty cool. Might be a little hard to tell because it's in its packaging, but I'll zoom in real quick. You can see on the bottom corners, there's some lights, and then on the top, there's like two blue ones. That are, one right here and another on the other side, which is pretty cool. I'm going to zoom out now. And then I have to turn off that light for a sec. Then you can see on top there's like two lights, one here and then another one at the back, which is pretty cool. For like working at night, or maybe it's a special type of camera. I'm not exactly too certain. That's pretty cool. And then this one, obviously we looked at it. It's probably about 3-seater, which is a pretty cool one. Definitely a very unique one, I'll say. And then this one I just recently bought not too long ago. This one is from the Galway Fire Service in Ireland. It's a pretty interesting and unique one. Definitely keeping it in its packaging, but you can see it says the writing right along the up here, SEITIANCHONTAIENAGAILLIMHE. Pretty cool. Not too sure how that's pronounced, but that's the writing on it. It's got the crest right here, right above the, like right by the door in the middle, right there. So it's pretty cool. Turning it around to the front, trying to get it good with the light. It's probably not going to turn up as well as I want it to. It's got the Volvo sign written across, or shown right across the front. And which is pretty cool. You also see the light bar going across the top as well. I'm going to try to bring the camera in a little close so you guys see it. And it says fire rescue. And then there's two mirrors on both sides. It's hard to see the other one because of the stand, but it's there. It's pretty cool. Got the lockers, of course, and then across the cab into the back, you got that yellow line, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, you see the ladders on top. Right back here, there's a ladder to walk to get up on top of the engine. Right there, climbs up. And then also, too, as well, I may have to make some adjustments. I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but you see the three ladders. So there's one off on the far side that's like off to the side. It's standing up on its side. And then you got the big one in the middle and then another long one going across the top, which is pretty cool. So that's pretty nice right there. So it's got some of the same similarities my other fire engines have. And then you see right back here, that back area on the bottom in the middle looks like the area where they hook up the hose at, or for the water pressure, which is pretty cool that it has that right there. Pretty nice feature on it. So that's a pretty cool one. Now, this is going to be another difficult one to do. How much bigger is the water tender compared to the going to be compared to the major rescue? So I'm going to have to do my best on this one. It's going to be hard to tell, kind of doing it side by side, but I'll give you kind of an up close look from above. Gonna have to make an adjustment real quick. So they look to me like they might be about the same length, which is pretty cool. Pretty nice though. It's pretty nice. They're both even though they're both two different fire engines, it's pretty cool that they look to be about the same length. That's pretty nice. So that'll be it for those ones. So now I'm gonna give my overall view thoughts on my collection of the 1/64th scale vehicles, emergency vehicles now. Get everything put back the way that I had it before. So now, I have to say, So in all, I have a total of four, seven. I have 9 1/64th scale model emergency vehicles. Um, some of them do have fragile parts on them, like the ERA vehicles do. The Corgi ones, they're really not so much. Um, Pretty nice though, even though they don't have that. And then, especially the Del Prado fire engines, those are two really cool ones. I'm never going to take those out of their cases. I'm going to leave them the way that they are just because I don't want the fragile parts to fall off. But I really like showing them in some of my other videos just because of the features they have on them and how realistic they look to the real thing. But this is a really cool collection right here of some of the smaller vehicles that I have of the 1/64th. So this is a pretty nice one. I liked being able to look at all of them, the police, fire, and ambulance, and getting a good look at these. And I think this is a really cool collection right here. Pretty nice. If you really like the emergency vehicles like from ERA or Corgi or even Del Prado, then I would highly recommend getting these for your collection as they're definitely worth the money and it's pretty cool. And having some different ones like Ford Transit vans, Caddy Maxis, and even the Mercedes Benz Vitos, they're pretty cool. And even the Volvo fire engines too. So this is pretty nice. I was happy to be able to sit down and take a look at some of these ones and give a close-up of some of the smaller scale vehicles that I have in my collection. I think this is pretty cool. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and please be sure you stay tuned for the next one.